talking about NATO, the ongoing issues in Ukraine, because this war, it rages on. There are more than 3.5 million people that have now fled. That's more than 12% of the country's population, and the majority women and children who, in many cases, now facing new risks. For more on this growing refugee crisis, I'm joined by Janice Dickson, reporter for the Globe and Mail, covering the story live for us in Slovakia. Good morning to you, Janice.
Good morning.
First of all, take us through exactly where you are.
I'm at the central train station in Bratislava. You can see it behind me here. It's where thousands of refugees fleeing Ukraine have transited through. There's a lot of volunteers here providing information and support. People are resting here before often continuing on to their next stop or final destination.
Janice, how long have you been there? And can you take us through some of the stories that you have encountered? It's heartbreaking.
Sure. I've been here for about 2 weeks. I've spoken to many people right here in this train station. One woman, she was preparing to travel onward to Italy. She was with her 2 young children. Her husband stayed behind. As you know, men between ages 18 and 60 who could be conscripted are prevented from leaving Ukraine, but often many are also staying and volunteering, and women too. And she said, you know, she can't imagine before the war traveling without her husband. They do everything together as a family. On the border, I met a woman who said she and her husband are both physicians. She showed me a picture of her apartment building. It was a brand new renovated apartment they were supposed to move into. The day the war began, the building was struck. Her husband is left behind. I've never met so many separated families and women and children here missing their dads and husbands.
Janice, no doubt this has got to take a personal toll on you as well. What is it like covering this on the ground?
Well, I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to speak with people and find out their experience and help document this. It's really important.
Where you've noted where you are right now, it doesn't look as busy, but can you talk us through usually the timelines? I think you noted that usually it's very busy at night, but it's hard to determine who's actually doing the traveling right now.
Sure, that's right. It's a busy station in general, so it's probably hard to determine exactly who's behind me right now. It's busy with locals too, of course. On the border, there's really an organized routine of buses coming to pick people up as they're pulling their luggage across from Ukraine. And then they go to a sportsplex that's been converted into a welcoming center. They stay there, they wait for their bus, they wait for their train. It's about a 6 or 7 hour trip from the border to where we are now. So it's quite a bit busier here in the evening.
You have written about the risk of human trafficking, exploitation. Can you tell us a little bit more on that?
Yes, there's signs everywhere at every train station I've been through across the country, warning of the signs, what to look out for. I think aid groups are, you know, they're really welcoming of volunteers that come and offer refugees a lift, somewhere to stay. But at the same time, there could be perpetrators sort of acting as kind volunteers, but who really want to exploit people, particularly vulnerable women and children. And so that's something that they're really trying to actively prevent from happening here.
Next for you, Janice, I understand that you might be traveling home shortly. What will you be taking with you, and what is next for you?
Sure. I take all of these stories with me. I've taken down a lot of people's WhatsApp numbers. I'm hoping to stay in touch and find out how you know, their journey is going and what they can share about what their loved ones at home are sharing with them.
Yeah, really important, incredible work that you're doing. Janice Dickson, live for us in Slovakia for the Globe and Mail. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.